We are at an important moment. Iran and the United States have been separated by over 30 years of mistrust and misunderstanding, and it is serious. There has been much talk of war, much inflammatory talk of war, and I believe it is a serious mistake. It's a serious mistake not to talk to people from whom we are estranged, and it's a serious mistake to believe that military force can solve diplomatic problems, as we have found out most recently in Iraq.
There are people who seek to conclude that Iran opposes any negotiation and conclude that alternative options should be taken up. I must emphasize that they are totally wrong. Iran has never and does not oppose negotiation in any way. As long as pressure is on Iran, as long as there is a sword on our neck to come for negotiation, this is not negotiation. So therefore Iranian cannot accept that. And our history shows that we have never accepted pressure from outside world, and we did not cooperate and negotiate under pressure. So therefore, this is not precondition. If the right conditions are created, and we are reasonably confident that negotiations could come to fruition, undoubtedly we consider them seriously. Accordingly, I believe that certain ingredients of appropriate conditions for negotiations are as, or could be as follows: mutual respect, respect for Iran's national sovereignty, non-intervention in Iran's domestic affairs, discarding the two-track policy of pressure and engagement, the existence of good faith and political will of mutual understanding, valuing bilateral cooperation in the region, and focusing on extensive common interests of the two countries.
Many have asked, and principally Iran, what would be the end game of all of this? On the broader side, I would like to think that through a process of negotiation, Iran and the United States can enjoy a normal relationship, but that will take a great deal of time. In between, one would like to see a resolution of problems. Iran has asked frequently in public what would be the view of the United States on the arrangements necessary to resolve the nuclear question. I cannot speak for the United States, but I can for myself on this issue say that I think there are 4 principal steps, 2 on each side, which need to be made to accomplish a resolution of this problem. On the United States side, I believe with progress on the nuclear issues, there should be progress in taking away those sanctions placed on Iran for the purpose, obviously, of achieving a nuclear settlement. And there needs to be at the same time, and this will be hard for the United States, but it's important, a recognition of Iran's right to enrich for its civil program, limited for civil purposes in quality and quantity, if I can phrase it that way. The United States, I would hope, would find from the Iranian side a willingness, in fact, to take steps to assure that both Iran's pledge in the Non-Proliferation Treaty and the commitment of its supreme leader in the fatwa recently reiterated against nuclear weapons and their use would in fact become made a greater reality for us by accepting the limitations on enrichment in quantity and quality which are sufficient for its civil nuclear program. And secondly, along with that, my 4th point, that they would accept IAEA, UN International Atomic Energy Agency inspections and monitoring, judged by the IAEA itself to be sufficient to provide the kind of assurance that Iran does not move from its civil program to a military program of making weapons.
There are many areas that both countries, as well as Iran and the West, have mutual interest in the region. So the door is open for cooperation in even some areas that we have good examples that you know. For example, in Afghanistan and in Iraq somehow, the security of Persian Gulf is important for us and for you and for the United States.